Hi, this is Carol at Sabner Epoxy Designs. I am going to be working on a memorial for a very dear friend and for their family. So I just wanted to show you a couple steps as I go. So the first thing, most important thing, is if you get photos of their loved one, to definitely seal them within one of these bad boys. And all you're going to do is you're going to buy the paper for it, and it comes in like a pack. You know, they look like this when you get them. When you look at these, I did this once, that's what I'm saying. If you look at these, there's like a little kind of lighter edge. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's like an edge that sticks out. That's the top. This is the bottom where you don't see any edge there. And all you're going to do is just open it like that. You're going to leave those two stuck together. And when you put it down, you're going to place your photos inside. But make sure that when you do add your photos, that you space them. They need to be spaced like this. And the reason for that is because we want them to seal completely, so that when they get put into the epoxy, it doesn't, discolor the photo or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm just going to turn the machine on. And we'll just wait. I have been using this for a while now, but just so that you know, when you are doing this, when I first got it, I wasn't too sure, but I, winged it. So right here where you see there's a ready and a power button, I thought when it was flashing that meant it was ready. Well, it wasn't completely ready. So then I would have to do it like 2 times. So now what I do is I just wait for it to get nice and hot. And then once it does, I'll run it through. But there are times when I look at it and I think, oh, well, there's a little bubble here, there's a little bubble there. And I'll show you what to do if that happens. And it's almost ready. So there's 2 sides to it, and it tells you right on here, insert sealed edge first. So that's what we're going to do, and that's that edge, as I said, that kind of hangs over. I'm just waiting for this to stay green. Once I do this, it's important that you do not cut very close to the photo, because if you do, you've just, deleted the whole purpose. So what you need to do is save yourself maybe an 1/8 of an inch, around the edges, just so it has a border that is sealed, so that when you put it into the epoxy isn't kind of getting in there and discoloring your picture. Okay, so it's still flashing. I'm going to just pause. Okay, we're back. Now the green light is on and steady. And I'm going to put this in. I'm going to make sure I'm right in where it needs to be within those parameters. And I'm just going to push this in very slightly. And I don't want to hold it closed because I want all those air bubbles to push themselves out. I got a little thingamabob there. That's okay. So see, it goes through pretty slowly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I always take a good look at them once they're ran through. Because if you end up with a little air pocket, sometimes that causes you an issue later. So I like to go through and just make sure that they're completely sealed. Here they come. Okay, so looking at this, it looks pretty good. You do see some air bubbles in here, I don't know if you can see them, but there's some tiny, small air bubbles there, but they're not going to bother us because we're just cutting right around the picture. So I'm going to grab my scissors. These have been through the ringer, both pair. Let's see if this one will cut well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make sure that I'm cutting below. I want to make sure it stays sealed. And I'm just going to go straight across, just like that. And the same on the sides, so that I end up having it a completely sealed photo. I'll just trim this a little better. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use for inside one of the memorials. So that's how I do that. I get these ready. You need to prepare these before, you know, you do your pour for your mold. All right. Have a great day. Bye.